Okay, crazy project alert. Today's video involves all this stuff and it's a little bit silly. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's short, so there is that. So last month I cut down a couple trees to get a better view of this wonderful Alabama vista. I've just found a use for the remaining trunk. Yes, that's right. That is a telescoping washing pole hooked up to a indoor HD TV antenna. Now that antenna is just a temporary experiment. We are trying it out to see if we can get some better TV channels. Our house, which is way down there, currently only gets 1 or 2 channels, free over the air TV. We're hoping this guy will get us more. So if we follow this cable, coax cable, we'll get to an HDHomerun device, and that is hooked up to our Google Wi-Fi hotspot, which is powered by a very long extension cord which goes down to yonder tree house, and that is fed by power from the house. Now that whole setup is kind of not very weatherproof and a little bit silly, but it's a beautiful day here and I'm just having an excuse to come outside and play around in the forest. So now I'm going to see how many channels we get. I'll let you know. Reporting back with only a little success. That antenna I had before, that indoor $20 RCA antenna, only got the same one network station I had when it was down at the house. I went to Best Buy and picked up this $100 antenna. It's called Sky something 60. And if your stations were on a visible horizon, even if they're 60 miles away, that should work pretty well. But we're not. Birmingham here has these. Birmingham's that way, sorry, on the other side of the hill, and these hills are full of rock. Birmingham was the little Pittsburgh of the South back in the day, so it had, there's a lot of iron in these hills. So I think I'm out of luck. That station, that antenna up there, will get me 2 network stations, one of which is the NBC, which is the Super Bowl and Winter Olympics station this year. So that's part of what drove me to all this silliness. But I think I can take that down, back down to the house, get the same 2 stations if I point it just right. That's the other takeaway from this. That antenna is supposed to be a omnidirectional antenna, one of its big advantages. But I'm seeing that it very much, at least with these Wi signals, very much depends on what direction you point it in order to pick up that extra station. So I'm back a couple days later to report better success. At first I did try mounting the antenna down there at the house, but probably not surprisingly, all the rocks in this hill got in the way and I had worse reception. So I brought it back up and I mounted it in this tree here. The other thing I did different is I switched from that omnidirectional antenna to a highly directional antenna, since all the stations we have are about in the same direction. So you can get this antenna for about $30 just about anywhere. Target, online, Walmart. It claims a 150-mile range if you point it just right. It has a motorized base, so in theory you can remotely control the direction it points to, but that in practice is difficult because you need line of sight to its. So the infrared remote control works with its power amplifier. You need line of sight to that amplifier. Also, the controls are pretty coarse. But I just set it in a fixed direction, and I now get about 6 different stations, about 20 channels. So I built a weatherized box out of this $5, maybe $10 plastic toolkit in the local hardware store. And here you'll see I have the Google Wi-Fi, the HDHomerun, the little antenna amplifier, and a power splitter. Just drilled a 1-inch hole in the side here and put a weatherproof connector on it. Hooked it up to a watt meter here to show it's running about 5 watts. That's about 3 watts for the HDHomerun, no, 2 watts for the HDHomerun and 3 watts for the Google Wi-Fi. So the folks at Silicon Dust who make that HDHomerun device that transforms the antenna information to your network, They make apps for most devices. I'll show you the one on Android here. They also have one. Change the channel pretty quickly. And it's really handy to have it on your phone when you're trying to debug TV antenna string. So in addition to the Android, iOS, Mac, and PC apps, they have apps for several of the streaming platforms. Not Roku, but the Fire TV app is really slick, just like real channels. The free version of the app gives you 24 hours of programming lineup. Paid version of the app, $35 a year, will get you 14 days programming lineup, pause and rewind to live TV, and using either PC or network attached storage will give you DVR capability. So that's really slick. If you have not cut the cord, if you're considering cutting the cord, you should really consider these HDTV options, so these HDHomerun devices. I did a video back when I was in Salt Lake up in one of these two corners with a few more details a couple years ago. For me, I guess this project wasn't so silly after all. I got myself for about $250, most of which was for that Wi-Fi, $120 for the Google Wi-Fi and about $100 for the HomeRun device, which I actually had already. So for $250 I got myself about 20 TV stations and no monthly cable bill. And I got better Wi-Fi in these forest trails when I go hiking. Side benefit. I will clean up the power cords here. That's what I think I'll do next. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.